Okay, sample problem 1.8. The Food and Drug Administration, or the FDA, recommends that dietary sodium intake be no more than 2,400 milligrams per day. What is this mass in pounds? The symbol for pounds is lb. 1 pound is 453.6 grams. So this problem requires two conversions. The first conversion is milligrams to grams, and the second conversion is grams to pounds. See, if they told us that 1 pound is 4.536 times 10 to the 5 milligrams, a direct conversion between pounds and milligrams, we could do it in one step. But they don't tell us that. So that means we're going to break it up into two steps. We do have a conversion between grams and pounds, but we don't have the conversion between milligrams and grams. So let's do that one. This is all about the prefixes. I'm just going to write a few of the prefixes here. Micro, the symbol for that is mu, and that means 10 to the minus 6. Milli, small m, 10 to the minus 3. Centi, small c, 10 to the minus 2. Deci, small d, 10 to the minus 1. Those are the four that we'll deal with in this particular problem. There are other prefixes, and you'll want to refer to this section in the textbook to see the other ones that are out there, but these are four of them. The one that we want is the milli, because the logic is milligrams to grams, because we have a conversion between grams and pounds. So here's our first step. Milligrams to grams. 2,400 milligrams. How do we convert that to grams? Here's how you do it. There's your prefix. 1 milligram equals 10 to the minus 3 grams. So let me deconstruct this for you. Milli, or m, is 10 to the minus 3. So 1 milli is 1 times 10 to the minus 3. 1 milligrams is 1 times 10 to the minus 3 grams. That's the logic. Follow through that logic. M equals 10 to the minus 3. 1m is 1 times 10 to the minus 3. 1 mg is 1 times 10 to the minus 3g. There's your conversion factor. We want to go to grams. So we're going to take the one we want, which is grams, and put that on the top. And we're going to take the one we want to get rid of and put that on the bottom. Here's the logic of this conversion. 2 over 2 is 1, right? 10 over 10 is 1. X over x is 1. V over v is 1. 10 to the minus 3 over 10 to the minus 3 is 1. Milli over milli is 1. Milligram over milligram is 1. So milligram over milligram is 1. So now this becomes 2,400 times 1 times 10 to the minus 3 grams, right? Because the milligrams cancel. Now, if it's times 1, we don't have to write times 1. So this is the same thing as 2,400 times 10 to the minus 3 grams. Okay? That's our first step. Now we're going to do the second step. As I said, this one requires two steps. We have our intermediate step, 2,400 times 10 to the minus 3 grams. But we want to go to pounds. Here's the conversion for that. Oops, sorry. The conversion is written up at the top. 1 pound is 453.6 grams. So I'm going to use that as the conversion factor. Again, if you have grams, multiply that by grams per pound. That's going to give you grams squared per pound. But if you take grams and you multiply it by pounds over grams, that'll give you pounds. So I'm going to multiply this by 1 pound over 453.6 grams. Grams cancel, and you get pounds. So 2,400 times 10 to the minus 3. Now that might be tricky for your calculator, but let's see if we can do it. 2,400 times 10, EE, minus 3. Good. Divided by 453.6. 0.005291. That's a pretty small mass in pounds, or weight in pounds. Doesn't weigh very much. Okay? So I'm going to put it in scientific notation. Here's how you do it. Move the decimal point until you get it the number of spaces so that the decimal point gives you a number that's between 1 and 9. So we wouldn't go any further, right? If you went one more space, you'd have 52. If you went 2 more spaces, it'd be 529. But we want 1 and 9. A number between 1 and 9. So I had to move it 3. Now here's the idea. If you move it to the right, the exponent becomes negative. If you move it to the left, the exponent becomes positive. We moved it to the right, so that means it's minus 3. And there's your answer. 5.291 times 10 to the minus 3 pounds. So let's review real quick. We were given milligrams. We didn't have a conversion factor between milligrams and pounds, so we did an intermediate step. We got rid of the prefix. We converted milligrams to grams. Once we had grams, we could use the given conversion factor to find pounds. I would recommend you memorize these symbols, these prefixes: micro, milli, deci, centi and deci, mu, mcd, and 10 to the minus 6, 10 to the minus 3, 10 to the minus 2, 10 to the minus 1.